15 hours in the air, 2 layovers, 1 surprise. That's what I kept repeating to myself as I stepped off the plane, gripping the small suitcase I packed just for the weekend. I hadn't seen my dad in almost 2 years, not since the funeral. I told him I couldn't make it for Thanksgiving because of work. That was the lie. The truth? I wanted to surprise him. I imagined the look on his face, the smile, maybe even a quiet tear. I told myself he'd be proud. After all, I'd just paid off the last $70,000 of his mortgage. Not that I was expecting a parade. He didn't even know. I did it quietly through the bank, using the power of attorney he'd given me years ago and probably forgot about. A gift, not just for raising me, but for forgiving me when I made the worst mistake of my life. Well, almost forgiving me. The sun was just setting when I arrived at the house. The porch light flicked on automatically, just like it used to when I was a kid. I smiled. My hand hovered over the doorbell. This was it. The big surprise. My heart was pounding. I pressed it. Footsteps. The door opened, and then everything went cold. He stared at me, lips tight, like I was a stranger. He didn't smile. He didn't move. "Dad," I said, laughing nervously. "It's me. I flew in. I want to surprise you." He didn't blink. "You shouldn't be here." My smile faltered. "What?" He stepped back just slightly, then looked over his shoulder. "Security's on the way." It took a second to understand. I thought it was a joke. But he wasn't the joking type, and the way he looked at me, it wasn't anger. It was rejection. I swallowed. "Dad, it's Thanksgiving. I came all this way." "Why are you?" "You forfeited this house when you destroyed your marriage," he said. "You don't belong here." That hit harder than I thought it would. "I paid off this house," I whispered. "I didn't ask you to," he snapped. "And I won't have your guilt money hanging over me like a ghost." A black SUV pulled into the driveway. Security. Real security. Hired help, not cops, but still. I stepped back. "I just wanted to see you," I said. "That's all." He didn't say a word. Didn't flinch. Didn't blink. I turned and walked away. No goodbyes. No tears. Just the sound of my suitcase wheels dragging over cracked concrete. But the truth is, this moment started long before the doorstep. It started the day I cheated. It wasn't just infidelity. It was a betrayal of everything I had built. My wife, Sarah, and I had been together nearly a decade. Through grad school, through starting my first business, through bankruptcy, and then finally through success. But I threw it all away for something that barely lasted 2 months. A woman I met at a conference. A fling that felt exciting because it was forbidden. I confessed when the guilt became unbearable. Not because I was noble, but because I couldn't look at Sarah without crumbling. She didn't cry. She just packed a bag, left our apartment, and never came back. My dad found out from her. She called him, not to shame me, but because she wanted him to understand why she was disappearing. They had a better relationship than I ever realized. He never answered my calls after that. Not once. When I paid off the mortgage, I thought maybe it would be a gesture of healing, of making amends. I didn't realize he saw it as blood money, a way to buy forgiveness. I guess part of me hoped I could erase my worst decision by being generous. But forgiveness can't be purchased. And family isn't a transaction. I spent that night at an airport hotel. Alone. Thanksgiving dinner was a sandwich from the vending machine. I didn't cry. I just lay there staring at the ceiling, thinking about Sarah, about my dad, about what it means to belong. When you break trust, it doesn't just cost you a relationship. It costs you a place in someone's heart. And sometimes there's no buyback option. I haven't spoken to my father since, but I never reversed the payment. The house is still in his name, fully paid. It's not an apology anymore. It's just the truth, like the one he said on that porch. Surprises are for people who belong. He was right. I didn't belong there anymore. And the hardest part wasn't walking away. It was realizing I had no one to blame but myself.